When the person you love is struggling with anxiety or depression, it can feel like you're walking through a fog. You desperately want to help, but it's just so hard to know where to even start, what to say, or, how to support them without completely losing yourself in the process. Okay, let's dive into this. Let's try to find some clarity together. First things first, it is so important to acknowledge that what you're going through is real, and it's really challenging. When your partner is struggling, it doesn't just affect them. It's like a ripple effect. It touches every single part of your life together. And this is the question that's at the very heart of this whole thing, isn't it? You see the person you adore just withdraw. Or maybe they're more irritable, or they've lost interest in everything that used to make them light up. And you're just left there wondering, how do I connect with them? How do I help bring them back? And look, this isn't just a feeling. The numbers actually back this up. Research from the Anxiety and Depression Association of America found that partners of people with anxiety are literally 2 times more likely to have major relationship problems. So this isn't just in your head. It is a measurable, real impact. And it confirms that this is a shared challenge, and that means it needs a shared approach. It helps to think of this as a journey, not some problem with a quick fix. And in this explainer, we're going to walk through a kind of roadmap. One, to help you navigate it all with a bit more confidence and compassion, not just for your partner, but for yourself too. So, where do we start? Well, the very first phase of this journey is simply making sense of what in the world is happening. Before you can offer any kind of real support, you have to understand the landscape. Some really fascinating research actually identifies this 4-phase cycle that people in your position often go through. It all starts with making sense, then moves to navigating changes, then overcoming challenges, and finally moving forward. Just seeing this laid out can help normalize what you're feeling and show you that there is a path through all of this. Okay, what's so important here is how this slide breaks down what not being themselves actually looks like. We're not talking about just a bad mood. Depression involves these persistent, ongoing changes. A really deep sadness or feeling of worthlessness, a total loss of interest in hobbies, big shifts in sleep or appetite, this profound fatigue, and even trouble concentrating. Recognizing these as symptoms of an illness, not character flaws, is the absolute first step towards empathy. All right, so as a loving partner, your gut instinct is to help, right? To fix it, to take on the burden. But this is where we can so easily fall into something called the overfunctioning trap, where our best intentions can actually end up creating more of an imbalance. So what even is overfunctioning? Well, it's basically when you start carrying everything, their emotions, all the household chores, the financial stress, all in an attempt to shield them. And while it totally comes from a place of love, the result is almost always your own exhaustion and eventually a growing resentment. And that doesn't help anyone in the long run. So, what's the difference between helping and overhelping? This slide lays it out perfectly. Helpful support is about being present. It's about listening, validating their feelings by just saying, "That sounds so hard," and gently encouraging treatment. Problematic overfunctioning, on the other hand, is trying to be their savior, trying to solve all their problems, taking over their entire life, and in the process completely losing track of your own needs. Okay, this all leads us to the most practical and, honestly, the most powerful part of this whole journey. Learning how to support your partner effectively while also protecting your own well-being. It's all about finding a new, healthier balance. Communication is everything, but not all communication is created equal. I mean, just look at the difference here. Asking, "Can you help me understand?" is an invitation. "What can I do to help?" gives them back some control. But then you have questions like, "Why can't you just cheer up?" That just places blame. It makes a serious medical condition sound trivial. These questions shut down the conversation instead of opening it up. Trying to encourage treatment can feel like walking on eggshells. But here's a clear, gentle path. Frame it from a place of care. Say something like, "Hey, I've noticed you haven't been sleeping well and you seem really down, and I'm worried about you. I want to help." Offering to make the call or go with them to that first appointment can remove a massive barrier, because depression itself just drains all the motivation needed to even seek help in the first place. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can say is also the simplest. This isn't about you having all the answers. It's just about showing up. This phrase, it communicates solidarity. It says, you are not alone in this. And that can be the most healing message of all. Okay,
We've spent a lot of time focusing on your partner, which is so important, but we absolutely cannot end this without turning the focus back on you. Because if your cup is empty, you have nothing left to give. Caring for yourself is not selfish, it is essential.
Just let that question really sink in for a minute. The emotional weight of being a caregiver is immense. You're trying to navigate your own feelings of sadness and frustration and fear. And a lot of times, you're doing it in silence. It's absolutely vital that you have your own sources of support. And this isn't just about feeling stressed out. This is a serious health concern. The data is crystal clear. Your own mental health is at risk. This is exactly why prioritizing your well-being isn't just a nice idea, it's a non-negotiable part of supporting your partner effectively. You have to put on your own oxygen mask first.
So, what does that actually look like in practice? Well, it means setting healthy boundaries on what you can and cannot do. It means protecting your own support system by leaning on friends. It means making time for your own hobbies and interests so that this illness doesn't consume your entire life. And please remember, there's absolutely no shame in seeking professional help for yourself to help you navigate all this. So, as we wrap up, I just want to leave you with this question. It doesn't have to be some grand gesture. Maybe it's a 20-minute walk. Maybe it's a phone call with a friend you haven't talked to in a while. Or just 5 minutes of quiet time with a cup of tea. Because the journey of caring for your partner really starts with that simple, radical act of caring for yourself.